Congress people, I'm going to give over my time. My uncle wasn't a perfect man, but he was a loving man and a man who loved God.
Yeah.
Everyone who knew Bobby knew he had three things he cherished in life. The first was his love of the Lord. His second was his church. And three was his family and friends. And if you were a friend, you were family.
Yeah.
I remember my uncle first joined the church and became saved. He used to ask all of us, Jazz, have you ever been dipped in the blood of the Lamb? He says a powerful thing. It's awesome. That's something about when people don't say awesome. So I'm going to tell you, it's awesome. I remember at Greater Mount Calvary, he served on the prison ministry. And I said, all the ministries to join, why the prison ministry? He said, prisoners need Jesus too.
That's right. That's right.
And he said, the Lord tells you, seek me and you shall live. And he meant it.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when my grandmother was in the hospital, my uncle made sure he went to every room on that floor and said a prayer for everybody who was able. He even stopped at the nurse's station too. They loved him. But next to the Lord and his faith, my uncle loved his family, especially his sisters.
Yeah.
And I think if he was standing right here, he'd want them to know how appreciative and thankful he was for these last 7 years. A lot of people don't know my aunt sacrificed their life to take care of their brother. And they're no spring chickens. Getting up there. Special Shirley. And I think if he was here, he would tell you, Auntie Shirley, thank you for your guidance.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Thank you for your counsel.
Yeah, Shirley.
I think what you don't know is he needed your acceptance of all the things he did. I remember I cooked the cake for the first time for Thanksgiving. He asked me, was my cake good or Shirley? I said, it made me be better. He told me, yeah, right.
Yeah.
He loved you.
Yeah.
He needed you.
You said it good.
Auntie Butch, if he was here, I think he'd tell you, just thank you for being you. Auntie Butch never had anything bad to say about anybody. Even through her ups and downs, she met my uncle with open arms and love and support. And he knew that. He knew that happens every day of his life. I'm going to go in order of age here, so what's going to happen next? Auntie Helen, I think what he loved about you most, when all the doctors said it was hopeless, my Aunt Helen didn't give up hope.
All right.
She was there every day praying and holding his hands. And when the doctor says it's time, she said, I don't believe it. That's what you tell me. And I know he loved that. I know he loved that. And Gwen, old Quail, second card. They knew how to push each other's buttons. I remember last Christmas, somebody gave my uncle an electric toothbrush. And Gwen came over, and every time Gwen would talk, he turned the toothbrush on. Finally, around the third day, Gwen said, you turned that thing on. Keep in mind, my uncle wasn't talking. He talked very clear. He told, I have a right. And turned it back on. But if anybody knew my uncle, and she kept my uncle clean to a whistle. Up until a year ago, she's still trying to put texturizers in his hair. His hands were well manicured. He never had an ashy hand. Vaseline on the lips. Sideburns done. And cutting, making sure he just had the perfect mustache.
Yeah.
Gwen used to also cut up his food and feed him when he could feed himself. I remember one time I told him, I said, let him feed himself. He told, huh? I said, go ahead and feed him. Feed him. But I know when he tell you, love you and thank you for that. You spoiled him. You spoiled him to the core. And then my mother, people don't know, as soon as my mother retired about 2 years ago, she came up here and got my uncle. She sacrificed a lot of her time and her freedom to make sure she had her brother. He was well taken care of.
All right.
You know, there's times me and my sister leave my mother said, but you know what, Bobby needs me. And we had no problem with that. And I know if Hattie Wilson was here, she'd say thank you. You guys did what you said. So come on, Bobby and the family, thank you for being wonderful sisters, but most importantly, thank you for being amazing best friends.